If it's up, it had an error.
No one watches your stream anyways.
Shut the fuck up, pussy. Hello? Test, test.
Yep. Streaming. Streaming.
Does it show on my screen though?
I don't know, fool.
There we go. It's a different one. Different one, different one. Here's the link. It's live. We live here. Okay.
Send me the link.
I did.
Did you
It's
send it?
posted, bro. Come on. Fucking pay attention, you lazy shit.
Hey, I don't appreciate this. I'm helping you provide streams to your damn whack ass account.
You ain't
And you're
helping
talking like,
anything, bro. Helping yourself.
nah, dog. I don't get anything out of this
Yeah, you do.
trick.
Get to clear your dirty name. Alright, guys. We are live. We are live. It's up. What's up, Phantom? I had to fix it. It was messed up. Alright, so we have HWEEZY. We have Kongu from 2805 Council. Let me edit video. Drama with HWEEZY and 2805 Council. So we're going to talk about a couple things. I'm going to start with the subject. We're going to go back. We're going to start with KVK2. So, KVK2, there was some stuff. Basically, we said that 2807 betrayed us and that we had evidence, but I never really saw any evidence. Belial said he never saw any evidence, and some other people said they really never saw any evidence. Can we explain anything on that, or?
Yep. So essentially what had happened with KVK2 is we had a call. I'm not sure who exactly was in this call because this happened at like 2 a.m. my time. So I was completely gone. But from what I'm aware, there was a call between Achilles and someone from 2807's leadership that had said 2807 was planning on betraying. At this time, Achilles was very gung ho with a lot of stuff. People who have been in the kingdom, Kim very much has seen that, and Achilles kind of jumped on that without getting the photo evidence, which, as you now see with KVK3, we get photo evidence for everything. Everything needs to be done in text, whatever.
So
But
there's no
because
real evidence, just someone said in voice.
Yeah, unfortunately, which from what I understand, Achilles was planning on following this up and getting evidence, but either it was never given or the person that said it got shy or possibly, I mean, like I say, I wasn't on the call, so it might not have even happened. I don't know. So it was bad on our side. Even if it was just promising evidence, I mean, we talked about this when it happened, Laxus. That I said I'm pretty sure there is, and this and that, and because Achilles hadn't really done anything wrong. I mean, in KVK1 he did amazing, so I had no reason to distrust him. So when he said yes, there is, I believed him until later down the line when it came out that no, it was just a voice call, and we end up not having anything. So it was definitely on our side an issue, which we fixed moving forward in KVK3, and we'll be fixing or have fixed and we'll be going forward with into SOC.
Okay. Um. So. So that was one thing that led to me, I felt personally why my reason for leaving '05 that happened, and then the stuff with KVK3 where the miscommunication 2814 asked to be let back in the chat, even
Um,
though demanding stuff before Kingsland even happened isn't really a proper way to negotiate stuff.
so as far as I am aware, they never asked to be let back into the chat. I have not seen any screenshots of them messaging any council. I asked Tram and Mel, the heads of Diplo at the time, if they had received any messages from 14. They said they hadn't. Um, Whether Achilles got messaged something, I don't know. But I have not yet seen any messages from 14 requesting to be let back in. Um, so as far as I'm aware, they didn't ask to be let back in. They might have, but I've not seen it yet.
That's
Okay.
interesting. Just because I know for a fact that they asked me to, hey, why are they not reaching out to us? Um, when I remember when uh when 14 attacked '05 that day, um, I remember the day prior, like Iris asked me to say, hey, why are our council members not responding to them? And that's all I know.
Okay. Um,
So
that's fair enough. If Iris wants to send the screenshot, I'd be more than happy to accept the
okay.
fault on that. But like I say, as far as I'm aware, I've not received any screenshots showing that, so I don't really. Um, I can't do. I can't accept fault on that if I've not seen it. If that makes sense.
Okay. I thought I saw a screenshot of them asking. Dad sent me one, and it was during Kingsland, but was ignored. So I don't know.
If it was during um, yeah, if it was during Kingsland, I can sort of understand why we wouldn't have responded. Everyone that was online was constantly fighting.
I think that's a
Um,
poor, from my perspective, I think that's a poor excuse. Because I mean, like, it doesn't take that hard to see a message come through and respond to them within even if it's like an hour later, we should have been able to respond to them within an hour.
so if it was in game, I would say yes. I know I don't open my in-game messages when I was fighting in Kingsland. If it was on Discord, maybe I could understand a bit more as not responding. Oh no, sorry. Other way around. I would expect us to be a bit more able to respond because Discord, you get the notification, you see you've got a direct message, whatnot. But I know for me, when Kingsland opened, I was too busy managing multiple, all my
But
accounts
did
and
you
trying to
guys
get
reach
stuff.
out to them before Kingsland opened? Like, shouldn't we get everything set as like a leadership, a Diplo? You want to make sure everything's set for your members, right?
The proposition or the thing that we had said to them before we kicked them out was that we weren't happy with them there. If they wanted back in, they had to reach out to us. That was what we had said.
So
Um,
we kicked them out.
yes.
So it was our fault. We turned on them, or what?
We didn't attack them, no.
But
We had agreed that they'd still get all the rewards that,
we
for
agreed,
whatever.
but we kicked them out.
But there was no communication afterwards, so that they can't even. So let's from their perspective, because I talked to the leaders of 14, is that okay? They got removed from the chat. They didn't get a chance to respond to your reward split up, and you guys removed them out of the chat. So they just did their own thing up until Kingsland, and there's still no conversation between our leadership and 14's leadership. So then they made their own move and decided that, you know what, instead of being part of this alliance that we were supposedly a part of, we're gonna be an independent kingdom and make our own decisions for our kingdom.
Um, so like I say, in regards to them not being able to respond to the reward split, that was kind of the whole crux of the conversation that had been
See,
happening for days. So they did have
and
time to respond.
I
Um,
mean, they had time to respond, but things that you guys removed them. So like, don't aren't you? They're gonna feel disrespected if they're removed from the chat, talking to them like little kids, and like,
right,
why would they respond to you?
because they called our leadership inexperienced and like not knowing what they were doing first. They threw the first insults.
It doesn't
Um,
matter about insults.
I,
This is about the kingdom, and you should make. I mean, like being part of a leadership team, you gotta know how to just take it in and just like you know what you gotta do what's best for your kingdom
okay,
instead of
but
like. Just
if
because you
you're
have a little
saying
ego issue, then you're gonna just push it away and just do what you want to do, and it affects
but
the whole kingdom. That's not how
you're
you should be running
saying
things.
you're saying they felt disrespected, so that's our fault. And then I go, well, yeah, but we felt disrespected. And you're going, well, yeah, but you should just suck it up. That's sort of. I do just want to say, I know both of you have got time crunches, so I would like to kind of jolt past this relatively soon to the actual me and or council and you situation over KVK3.
Okay,
That's kind of where I want to go.
we can go ahead and go to that.
Yeah. Um. So this. So I guess for the people not aware, I can summarize this from my point of view as quickly as I can. This has been a situation that's been happening pre-KVK3, starting with when you were in council, HWEEZY.
Correct.
We had a small, I guess not a small, we had a relatively big dispute with you and a kingdom member. Council told you to sort of back down. You didn't. You stepped away from council. We went into KVK3, or we went into pre-KVK. You guys did very well in pre-KVK. We started. You were removed from a couple rewards. You got some. I know there were some issues with getting you rewards. Then Kingsland happened. We fought. You swarmed me. We told you to leave
Can
after
we?
KVK, and then you stole MG.
Okay.
Very sped up.
So let's go back to when you stated that the pre-KVK drama between you telling me to back down. So that
Yep.
involved me issuing a fine to a kingdom member, correct?
Yes.
And so was I not in charge of kingdom enforcement?
Um. Genuinely, I couldn't tell you who was head of enforcement or who had what roles at that time. But let's say for sake of argument, yes, you were.
Okay. So and then did I not? So every time we issue a fine, typically it's listed in our council chat. So I
Mhm.
told you guys that I was gonna fine that specific kingdom member for the reasons above for harassment, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then they refused to pay the fine. And they
Mhm.
continued to harass the other member by not removing that profile picture. Because at first they removed it. I told them about the fine. They added it back on, and they said they're not removing it. So I
Mhm.
issued them a second fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't agree with how council then off. You guys had no issue with me. Had no issue with me issuing the second fine. You guys said that okay, you know what? Instead of having this escalate further, we'll go ahead and pay the fine for that specific kingdom member. Is that not correct?
Mel did, yes.
Yes.
Mel at the
Okay.
time being council member.
I told them I did not want to accept that because that beats the purpose of issuing that fine. So because of that, Achilles stepped in, and then you know what I said, I'll let Achilles deal with it because then I thought he was gonna do the right thing and get the fine paid out.
Mhm.
Next thing you know, he said that the fine was paid to the Kingdom Bank, whatever. Which I at that point in time did not believe in the Kingdom Bank anymore because there was no transparency on how the Kingdom Bank was used, and we can definitely talk about that too down later on. But that's the reason why I left council. And for you guys to say that, I guess next day I left, da da da. Achilles issued out a statement saying that I'm a scammer, don't trust
Mhm.
me, da da da, whatever. And for council to stick around and agree with all that and like said that, oh yeah, I was collecting resources from people from fines and never giving it to the Kingdom Bank. That's totally messed up. Do you not agree with that?
Okay, so the issue wasn't with you issuing the fine. The issue was with you wanting the fine to go to whoever it was going to, not the Kingdom Bank. That was where the main issue
But
sort
did
of
you
showed.
guys not state that I was collecting? There was messages from council members that stated that I was collecting resources for myself and directing it to other people.
Uh, collecting resources for yourself and direct them to other people. Um, I'm not
It was posted on
sure.
Discord. It was posted Kingdom chat. It was posted in Alliance chat, saying that that's the reason why we were being penalized. was because I was abusing my power as a council member, and that's the reason why I was removed. But I was not removed. I stepped off from council because I did not agree with how things were being ran.
Okay. Um, I believe what was maybe not what was said, but what was meant was that you were trying to get resources to not the Kingdom Bank, which wasn't how we ran things.
So, and
Uh,
in the council chat, I specifically told you guys the reason why I wanted that payment to go to RJ, which is the member who's being harassed. I told him the reason why that specific member had to pay RJ is because if it goes to Kingdom Bank, it doesn't affect him, but it hurts his ego if it goes to RJ, and that was it.
So
And
I will put some input in here real quick. So the Kingdom Bank has been around since KVK 2, probably even KVK 1.
yeah.
There was no records of the bank in KVK 2 or 1 or 3 until KVK started. Then some people started keeping track later on after KVK 3 went on. When I was in this kingdom, I was never offered resources, either was Kana, until KVK 3 was already over. They said, hey, we have some extra resources. Do you want resources? It's like, well, I already opened all my bags. And I know for a fact Achilles, the main person of the bank, used it all for himself because he even said so.
So the bank, the bank account, the Very account, at the time, the owner of it, Very, did keep track of who the resources
That was
went
after
to.
KVK 3 started, though. Because Achilles, all the resources were going to Achilles before KVK 3 started.
yep.
Um,
But let's get back. Let's get back to my
how
my
would
point.
they have all gone to Achilles if the screenshot that I guess I can send this into here. Da, there. One, 1.5, like 2 billion resources there are being sent out to other
Two
people.
bill is nothing.
Well,
Yeah, we
Every
had
every
we had
MGE there was a fine of like 10 billion resources.
yes,
Every single 2 weeks. So to say two bill, that's such a laughable number.
okay, so as I was about to say, yes, I understand 2 billion is not that high of a number. But Very was keeping track of them. The Very account, I believe, still does have some. So I don't know why they weren't given out, but they were being given out to people.
But
So to
then,
say
so if various banks still had some, I asked for resources during KVK. Riza asked for resources during KVK, and then we were told that um, they were gonna keep the rest of the resources for free-to-play players,
okay,
and that was delivered in Discord.
All right, but
And
hold on. You can't deny the fact that there was over probably 100 bill resources traded to that bank, and you only have track of like 2 bill going out.
no, nowhere near 100 billion.
There was 500 mil fine to each player after KVK if they didn't hit DKP. There was
That's in
500 mil
KVK.
fine for every MGE they went over.
Yeah, and do you know how many people didn't pay that?
Well, you guys said you'd zero them. There was tons of
Yeah.
resources that went there though, and for
we had quite a few people here to play because I was in charge of collecting the resources and telling them to go directly to the Kingdom Bank. And I mean, in the enforcement chat, we collected records of everybody that paid. So we had over, I think, like 60 people that paid, for sure. That paid the fines.
But the point that I'm saying is you're saying that no resources went out when 2 billion did. Once again, 2 billion, not a lot. I agree.
But then wasn't there is so you, but then isn't there favoritism in terms of like players get it and some players don't? Like specifically, if
the
my team asked for it, I didn't get any.
the
My
date
team
of that is after KVK ended though. That's 2003. That was literally fucking 18 days ago. KVK was
Yeah,
already over then.
yeah, that is because that is the most recent time that our council asked for those bank records. I can go back and get the exact same screenshot from just after KVK3 ended if you want.
Yeah, that's
But
after it ended. That's my whole point.
well,
Council and all these members and friends got resources during KVK, during fighting at the start. When then they had extra, they're like, oh shit, let's offer some extra to people. KVK's already over. Fighting's already over. Let's give some resources now.
so you want
That's my whole point about that. Like, I know for a fact that more than half the resources just went to the friend group and council. That is
um
100% confirmed by people in council already too.
That also because I know specifically when Riza asked for resources, Dad said he doesn't. He said that, oh yeah, he'll get back to him, but Dad's never got back to Riza about it, and then Dad's ended up receiving resources from Achilles or from whoever's managing that come back then, but Riza never got any resources.
okay, so can I go through these points one at a time?
Sure.
So the Riza one. When did Riza ask for resources? Roughly, what zone are we talking?
That I'm not. I gotta pull it up, but you can continue talking. I'll try to see if I can pull it up.
Right. Okay. The what were the points Laxis made? A lot was said. I can try to recall.
My main thing is that you can't deny more than half the resources went to council. Even Achilles laughed and said, "Yes, we took more than half the resources for
I
our
mean,
group."
I never got any of them.
Okay,
Um,
but
Tram never got any of them. I know Mel didn't.
Mel said
Um,
I didn't get any resources, FYI. So it must have been just Achilles then that took them all.
right. Okay. So what we're learning from this entire thing is that so far, Achilles has been the major issue. Yeah. And what we're trying to say now is Achilles is gone, so we can move past all this stuff.
So
Uh,
if that's the case, then let me ask you this then. The treatment of me and my team of dedicated fighters 405
mhm.
were handled extremely poorly in terms of rewards, in terms of how we were like viewed as a kingdom member, based upon trying to tarnish our reputation from council. Is that not true?
Right. So with your group, after Achilles had left, roughly near the end of
But let's not continue when Achilles was still in part of the kingdom. You guys were aware of what was going on, and you guys just let it happen.
and we did not let it happen. We very much disagreed with him many times. I can get the screenshots from Daz saying that he constantly disagreed with him. Daz said to you specifically in screenshots that
That he
he had
disagreed with.
disagreed.
Correct. But then, was there anything done about it?
So
Well,
he's basically saying that yes, everyone disagreed with him, but the people that were in power basically said, "Oh, we can't do anything. We're not going to stand up for the kingdom. It's his way or the highway."
what? So that is how a dictatorship works. Yes. When Achilles was in charge,
So then
Achilles
you're
was a
at fault too is what he's saying though. You can't just say it's only Achilles.
what I would like to say is to finish my point.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So Achilles was the dictator. What he said went. We could oftentimes try to convince him otherwise, which we did with you, HWEEZY. Achilles wanted to zero you multiple times. We, stopped him from doing that. We got you more rewards by disagreeing with him. We had disagreed with him multiple times, and we got results. But with certain things, Achilles was a dictator. He was completely in charge. What he said went at the end of the day. That's
Which
how
I don't
dictatorship.
understand how he can still be a dictator when he didn't even have an account to play for KVK3.
He did.
Like
So
He had the
he sold his
Regal.
account already. All the accounts he had, he sold.
Daz said that he got to use the Kingdom Bank to power up his account, which
Uh,
if you're a part of council, that should be discussed among I don't know. That's it's such a poor excuse. I'm not just blaming you, by the way. You're just the only one in voice, so it's not a just Kongu, okay? So don't think that. But that's such a poor thing to like let happen. If you're a council of a kingdom, you need to have the whole kingdom's best interest. And to allow someone to do all this stuff walk over and tarnish it and just say, oh, well, that was him. We're in charge now, but you were already a part of council before, that's not really changing it. You still, like, do you see where I'm coming from with that? Like, you were already council, you were already leadership of a kingdom, you already knew what was happening. You kind of let it happen, not saying you again, just saying the council. And then to say, well, that was just him, but we're still leaders. Now we're the new leaders, though, but he's gone, so the problem's gone.
Um, Unfortunately, I'm not seeing what you're saying. No, when Achilles was in charge, he had ultimate say at the end of the day. But now that's gone. We disagreed with him many times, and now instead of us all disagreeing with him, but then him doing it anyway, he can't do that. We all agree on something, and now it happens. With the account thing, he had the Regal account. He was using it in Kingsland. He didn't.
Yeah,
sell
that's like
all
60.
Regal.
That's like 60 million. Other than that, so
But
how is he? Like, I don't understand like why he had so much authority to like override every single council member's decisions. Because if
because that's how dictatorships work.
there was a point of having a council, then like it doesn't make sense. Like if you guys knew my punishment was unfair, but you guys kept it and didn't do anything about it, like it didn't make sense. You
That's what I'm saying. We did do something about it. Your punishment was originally a lot worse. Your punishment was to be zeroed quite a while ago.
I'm
But
pretty
we
sure if
convinced
that
him not
if that
to,
went down, half the kingdom would have revolted in that case. So
right?
that wasn't gonna happen.
Which is what council had said, which is why we convinced him otherwise. That's what I'm saying. With some things we could convince him to to be a bit more lenient. With other things, we couldn't. That's how it worked with Achilles. That's how a that's what a dictatorship is.
So,
We,
but your whole argument against Wheezy was having him get sent resources somewhere other than a kingdom bank for the kingdom. But then you just said that you allowed a player to do whatever he wants with the kingdom bank. So I'm just very confused. Like, your
Like
argument against him was, oh no, we made you do this because you tried to get resources somewhere else. But then your defense for someone else stealing a bunch of resources from the bank
I'm not
is,
defending Achilles. I never actually once did.
uh, yeah, but if you knew that was happening, you should step up as a council member of a kingdom and let people know, right? You're the voice of hundreds of players in the kingdom. You're in charge of hundreds of players. It's your job to inform good or bad, even if some player won't, the king is going to get mad. It's your job to inform players, right? Players that are investing time, money, it needed to be more transparent from everyone in the council.
So I personally didn't know where the Kingdom Bank resources were going. I didn't keep on top of that. Wasn't my business. I didn't have the resources. I wasn't going to ask for them. So I didn't keep on top of any of it. With
So
that in particular,
would that be a mistake of the council though? Is that like a yes, the council fucked up, or is that a just, oh, we never kept track?
if a council was aware, potentially, but I don't even know if the council was aware. Like say, with Vera was the one with the bank account. Where she would have known where the resources were going.
So is that poor leadership then, or like it can't just be a thing that's swept under the rug? Oh, we didn't know. We're collecting billions of resources, but we don't know. We don't keep track. Like,
But we do keep track. That's what I'm saying with the message that I sent with the very
so you're
sending
saying
the.
you do keep track?
I'm saying very keeps track.
So you're saying someone kept track of where resources were going in and out the whole time?
I don't know. You'd have to ask very. Like I don't. Very. So. For one, I said this isn't the topic I want to be talking about. I want to be talking about the HWEEZY situation, which I
Okay.
don't know if this is.
It is a part of it because he got yelled at for resources wanting to get sent to a member that got bullied. And then
Yeah.
another HWEEZY situation, he got called a scammer.
Right.
and
And you guys were
council
aware.
council
You guys
was
were
aware
aware.
of everything that happened.
Okay.
And
So,
And you guys
then
just continue calling me a scammer
okay,
until
let
the
him
one
talk.
second
apology.
Let him
then.
talk. Let him.
One second
What?
then. Jesus.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
The
You're good.
scammer situation. Um, that was so you were buying an account from Achilles, yeah?
No, I'm not. We're not talking about that. The scammer was about the fine being issued.
Right.
It wasn't about buying an account from Achilles. That's a
Okay, so
different situation. That's another topic we can talk about. But
this is still regarding the resources then.
correct.
If you are trying to take resources from someone else and get them to your friend, who RJ is your friend,
Correct. But he was the one that being harassed.
when they shouldn't have been going to RJ, that is not exactly a scam, but it's definitely not what you should be doing, and it's not
But
fair.
I specifically, but there was nothing in council chat saying that I could not have done that. So I told you guys
Apparently, it
that.
has done Kingdom Bank rules since
Correct.
KVK1.
But I was head of Kingdom Enforcement. I told you guys the reason why I was doing that was because I wanted to. Because if the resources were going to the Kingdom Bank, that would have done nothing to affect the other person. But if it went to somebody else that he was purposely bullying or harassing, that would hurt his ego. So I told you guys this is the reason why I'm doing that, and I said it specifically in council chat. You guys were aware. You guys were aware of that. Okay. When he refused to pay to RJ, then that's when I TP'd over to his city. My group of friends TP'd to his city, and we waited because I'm telling you guys. I told you guys, hey, if he does not pay it by the end of the day today, we're gonna zero him.
Oh wait, did someone have to pay a fine to Sugar Boo directly?
Yes. So RJ paid a fine to Sugar Boo directly because I guess he zeroed the city or whatever. But then I gave
That's
him
a
24
hospital
hours.
bill.
But that's another story too. But he ended up paying a shit ton of resources to Sugar Boo, which I'm not sure why he paid that much. It shouldn't have been that much. But whatever.
So
Anyways,
that's a hospital bill. That is very different from a fine.
yeah. But anyways, so we TP to the city and we did not even attack anything of that or whatever. We just told him, hey, we'll give him to the end of the day. That's when you guys offered to pay, or Mel offered to pay the fine for that specific member. So this was all discussed in council chat. It's not like I was doing anything shady behind anybody's back. I told you what was going to happen. We didn't do anything. We waited till the whole entire situation where I gave a 24-hour time frame, and we waited till Achilles got on, and I passed down to Achilles, and that was that.
The reason that it was passed on to Achilles was because the entirety of every other council member that was awake at the time was telling you not to.
Yeah. So then
And you
that's
were
what I'm saying. So
still
I did
doing
not zero him.
No,
We
never
didn't.
said you did.
Yeah. So what I don't understand is that because of me, the whole purpose of me and my team being penalized for all occupational warriors up until King's End, which means no circles, no Hurons, no passes, occupation up until Kingsland, is because of me issuing out a fine and council not agreeing with it, and that's me overstepping my boundaries as a kingdom enforcer, whatever.
It was for very much more than that. It was for getting your team, you call them, over there, being a big scare to the kingdom. I mean, I was in VS at the time, and I was being asked a lot, are we going into civil? What's going on? People being scared. There were people bubbling, um, all over the place.
No,
You say
so, yep, go ahead.
you say that it was just for the fine, which yes, that was initially what started, but it was more than that. It was a massive impact on the kingdom and our player base, which we, were concerned about, and we couldn't just allow you guys to, be a big scare to our kingdom
Yeah.
and not have a little bit of a punishment.
That's
I agree with that,
that's
but
fine.
at the same
Yeah.
time, I strictly told you guys that I'm not hurting nobody else. I'm only here for that specific member. And the thing is that you guys, as leaders of that specific alliance, should have told your members that. It's not that hard to like, hey, like he's not, he's we're handling, they're handling a fine, whatever. They're handling a issue with a specific kingdom member, and we're trying to resolve it. What's so how is it possible that you guys are not able to issue that statement out to
So
your alliance?
we did. Not only did we have markers up, we sent out an alliance mail, but that doesn't stop people from. I mean, with alliance
So
mails,
what's the difference between you guys surrounding somebody and zeroing them, and then saying that, oh, they didn't pay a fine? What's the difference between doing that?
what two things?
Because basically what I did was that I TP next to him to let him know that it will happen, and then but we did not attack him, and then we ended up backing out and we just TP'd out. So what's the difference between you guys zeroing somebody and then telling that, oh, you guys didn't pay me a fine, so that's the reason why we zeroed you?
You say it like, oh, you just TP'd out. You TP'd out after like 2 hours, 3 hours. Some of you didn't even TP out after like half a day. So it wasn't just. Oh,
That's
you
fine.
just.
I honestly, that's fine because didn't you guys have big drama at that point anyway?
Uh, no, that was what started it.
So, but did they get the go ahead to do that, or was that just HWEEZY's group deciding to do that?
Well,
The go ahead.
I'm head of Kingdom Enforcement, so I'm like, okay, whoever wants to help me, zero, the specific member, come, and they came.
Well, if you do put someone in head of enforcement and tell them to enforce something,
But they're enforcing rules that they had made up.
what
How's
was
it?
the rule?
What was made up?
The
Refusing to pay a fine?
someone to someone else that isn't the Kingdom Bank.
But the thing is that, okay, so if you're saying that the rule was made up, I told you guys specifically that person was going to do that fine needs to be paid to whatever, and you guys are on
And we
board with
told
that. You
you
guys were
no.
willing to pay that fine for the specific members. I didn't think it was a big issue. And
We told
then
you no, and then when you refused to leave, we said, okay, we'll at least pay it to try and get it resolved quicker.
you guys never told me
It's
that I
because
could.
after
The
we had
fine.
said
No, there was nothing that ever stated that I couldn't issue a fine out to being paid specifically to the person that's being
Well,
harassed.
someone got told they'd pay the fine, but it might have been miscommunication from both parties on that. I have a question though. So recently, people wanted to migrate out. There was a player who was providing passports, and this player got punished heavily, and a lot of his farms zeroed, and he had to pay like a 5 billion fine just for helping people get passports.
what alliance were they providing passports
This
in?
player's name was L,
Okay, so what alliance were they providing passports in?
their own. This player's name was L Shanaham, L Store, L whatever. L
So L
Resource
and Shannon
Farmer.
are two different people.
Well,
As far as
L,
I'm
yeah, L got given a huge fine for helping people get passports.
The only thing I can think of is, depending on what alliance is, I don't think we've only ever fined people, or not even fined.
This was
people,
recently.
demoted.
This was like a week ago. He had to pay like a 5 or 6 bill fine for helping people that wanted to leave the kingdom leave.
Week ago.
Yep.
Would it be possible for you to provide a screenshot, just so I know, just so we're on the same track here?
Yeah, Toru sent me a screenshot. Toru's group was leaving, and then Council from O5 got super mad at him and gave him a fine. Let me see if I have the screenshot from Toru. And Mel, you're in here, so I know you can confirm, or someone, because I don't see you typing now. Let me ask Toru.
While we're on this, is there another point we should be getting on?
I mean, so the whole point of this whole drama is because you guys penalized me and my team unnecessary, some rough punishment, and then the fact that pre-KVK, we were told that some of the occupational bans would be lifted and we would receive rewards. And I confirmed with you. I specifically confirmed with you, Kongu. I stated, okay, can you confirm which rewards will we be receiving? You said, let me get back to you. I'll reach out to Achilles to confirm exactly. So then you told me what rewards we were receiving. Come time for those rewards, we missed a few of them. Is that not correct?
Yep, I am aware. I looked into what had happened in that day. I believe at the time, this was a while ago. So I am just going off memory. This was during Valentine's Day, as I had said to you. So I had already said to my partner at the time that I wasn't going to be doing any council stuff, but I was doing more of it because I felt you'd been wrong. So I was, doing more than I was supposed to be. But I'd said, okay, I'll get these, check these rewards. I sent the message to the council chat being like, hey, this is where I believe it should be, and left it to go
And
spend it.
nothing was done. So I spoke to Daz. Daz said, okay, he saw what happened because he saw that Congo. You told me that this would happen. He said, okay, the next rewards, we'll go ahead and give you the Huron catcher to make up for it. So then, well, okay, cool. We all log into whatever. Next thing you know, we get removed again. And Daz specifically said that council, everybody's aware. He'll make sure that everybody's aware that we are supposed to receive it. What happened there?
Um,
Is it Achilles overstepping again, saying that no, he doesn't agree?
what day was this? Just so I can go to the. Because you're asking me for a specific thing that happened in council chat, so could you give me the day so I can go back to it? In council chat.
Let me see. I can. Let me send you. Let me send you right here. I have a screenshot that I spoke to Daz about.
Fucking thunder.
What day was that? 2nd of the 14th.
Okay, do you think I know a lot of O5 leadership is in watching the stream. Do you think you should have spoke up more for your members of O5 now, especially with Achilles quitting and you're taking over leadership and you were a part of council with him as a leader? Do you think it's your job as a council member to take up more and stick up more for your members, or do you think no?
But we are. That's the point.
How?
It's already
We issued an entire apology
no,
to
it's
you
already
saying
over. I'm talking like when you were in lead. Like you can't apologize for it being done. Like, hey bro, I'm sorry I shot you. I know you're fucking shot, but yeah, it
we're
is
supposed
what
to
it
apologize
is.
for things that haven't happened yet. How
Huh,
do you
what?
apologize? Well, you're saying we can't apologize for something that's already been done.
Well, you apologized for his actions, but do you think you should have stuck up more? Like you want to lead a kingdom, right? But do you think that because everyone was obviously all on board with Achilles. When I was in that kingdom, everyone was Achilles. Like, do you think you knowing what you know, because you're in council, you guys know everything. You were in every chat. Do you think you should have stuck up more for your members?
I think we stuck up a fair amount.
I mean, if you did stick up, then let me ask you why are we being penalized so much for those? The punishment that we received did not make sense for what I did. Supposedly, that was out of line. Like I still don't understand that, you know. And then so because I'm migrating, let's talk about the MGE. Um, yes, I didn't intend to migrate the first week of MGE, but then that was what I sent that what maybe 2 3 weeks before KVK ended, and we agreed that whatever. Come around, I'm like, okay, I saw the command. I was like, you know what? I messaged Viri and I said, hey, give me a slot for because then I saw you guys send a Kingdom mail out saying that we'll get a slot. Was it if you want a slot, hop on Discord and send your information and whatever. However, um, however, we were banned from Discord still. Like even after the apology, we were banned from Discord. I couldn't even access Discord to send an email out or send a request. So I messaged Viri in game saying that, hey, I want a slot for Kev, and I didn't get a response. So no, she said that she'll relay the message to Belial, who is in charge of the MGE or whatnot, and I never got anything back from anybody.
Okay, so with that, whether or not, so you said you were going to migrate by the first wheel, you decide not to, that's fine, because really, that doesn't matter. The date we had given you, I've sent the screenshot in this Discord. You can see the second paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines down. After MG is ended, you will have 10 days to migrate, blah, blah, blah. That ended up being April 1st, which was day 6 of MGE. So you had been told to migrate before the end of MGE. Why would we give you a spot to someone we had told to migrate before the end?
So that discussion was on March 11th. I had a discussion with Viri, or I told Viri I wanted a slot on I think March 24th.
Okay, but you'd been told to migrate out before.
No, so he's saying he asked for a spot before he said he was leaving or something,
No,
I guess.
I thought I was leaving because I'm like, okay, you know what? I decided. So what if I decide to stay longer? Like I don't get what the issue was. Like I still fought for the kingdom, so I still deserve a slot. Is that not correct?
So, the first couple of MGEs for a new Season of Conquest Kingdom are not rewards. We have so many players that need these commanders. Taurus and Reg, great examples. Amazing fighters who fight for the kingdom that need these commanders to continue. They aren't rewards. They are a necessity. That's why we haven't implemented the DKP bidding system yet, because they are not rewards. They are what the kingdom needs. And
I don't know. That's not what I was told, to be honest.
Same here.
I
was
was
told that
I was
if
told
you
that
participated in KVK, your MGE slots would be determined
by
next,
your
like,
ranking from DKP. That's what I was
correct.
told, and I know a lot of members were told that.
So let's go on now, okay? So so the first screenshot I just sent you, Laxit, is that on March 24th. So I asked for a request for an MGE slot. I sent a note in T5 chat and let them know what
I don't know.
my
Okay,
is.
for their defense though, you are gonna leave, right? So I see their point on you. Okay.
Correct.
Let's just say you
But
in general. But hold on, let me talk. But I know a lot of people asked for rankings. I asked for a ranking based on like Kanas and everything. And there was some random ass fucking people that were 100th in DKP and they got
168.
rankings. There was
Okay, let
people
me show you.
75th in DKP that got rankings. You can't sit here and argue with me that it wasn't biased, and that was before I decided I was leaving. After I saw the ranks and someone that wasn't even a part of the fucking decision making giving out ranks,
Chib,
I was like, okay, yes, this kingdom, I'm not gonna stay a part of this. They're allowing some Belial who wasn't even a part of the start of KVK give rewards based off the KVK, DKP, and everything to people and friends. That's a
Look at
no-go.
look at the last
Yes.
image I
So,
sent you. Chibi 2.
Chibi2, yeah.
168.
So,
Rank 168.
I'll explain
Received
this one.
10 heads.
I'll explain this one real quick, because it's my favorite, and I've been thinking of it for a long time. When you reach Season of Conquest, if you're a T5 low spender free to play, you can really only specialize in one: Garrison, Rally, or Open Field, right? Because the amount of heads that you need to do those roles is a lot. It's not like KVK 123 where you can just get YSG and that's you set for rallies, garrisons, and and field. The Chibi account is a Season of Conquest garrison account. It didn't even have Saladin 5551 when it migrated here. It is a Season of Conquest Cav garrison account. It was given 10 heads because it is a Season of Conquest Cav garrison account. It wasn't given anymore because of the low DKP, but because it is a Season of Conquest.
It is a bought Season of Conquest account that doesn't spend, yes. So it does not spend money, it's a bought account.
And for to be garrison and to be garrison and rally leaders, you need to be a spender.
And that's a
It's
bot account. So that argument, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to like dig on you. Your argument, you just countered yourself. You said people that spend money need to get it, and that's a Season of Conquest account that was bought by someone that doesn't spend the type of money that the players that got top in DKP spend.
No, so you're right. It doesn't spend a ludicrous amount of money.
So how's it gonna be a garrison and rally
So,
leader?
so
because
let
to be a
give,
garrison rally leader, you
if
need
you
you
give
need
me
to
a
spend
second,
money
I
on.
will be answering. Jesus Christ.
Alright, let me just make one statement about that. To be a rally or garrison leader, you need to spend money on crystal tech.
Okay, agreed. I agree with you here.
Okay, go ahead.
So, we're going into a C seed king. We're aiming to be C, probably not now, more like a low B seed kingdom. We aren't going to have many whales. The chip account is going to be like not even a tertiary, not even a third cav garrison. It's going to be like a sixth cav garrison. Like there's a flag way back that it's not super high priority. That's what that will be garrisoning. So it won't need that high of tech. It will still need tech. We don't need that high of a tech. If you notice the people that are big spenders, that are also Cav Season Conquest garrisons, or just garrisons in general, we're given way higher spots. 10 heads is not that much.
So you say that my contributions to the kingdom did not deserve at least 10 heads?
But you were told to migrate before the end of Mighty's
And
government.
then, but in the message, you also had an option saying that I can pay a 400 million resource fine if I was gonna stay.
But assume your friends will go with you, but if not, they will be able to stay.
Also, you're saying I'm not allowed to stay. Even if, that doesn't
Yeah,
make sense.
that
So
was the
why would I
statement.
not be? Why would I not be allowed to stay?
Because we asked you to migrate.
For what reason?
For swarming me last time I checked?
So okay, let's talk about that. So Choppa specifically stated that anybody associated with HWEEZY and his friends will be zeroed. Is that not correct? Did he not say that?
That is what Achilles was told. That is what Chop was told, yeah.
Okay. So we saw that message, right? From our perspective. I random TP'd to some random TP. I happened to TP to some random farm account. I see Choppa zeroing that random farm account. You said that farm account was sending me resources, which was not true at all.
I
And
said
you
I
said
was
you saw.
told that account was sending you resources. Very
so
specific set of words there.
okay, so who told you that account was sending me resources?
That was Achilles, yes.
So you guys zeroed a random farm account. Whatever. So I saw that as an act of war against me and my team. So when we had a chance to swarm you, we did. So how is that like? I don't understand why we need to pay a fine when you guys took the initial action first. So you guys were in the wrong, and then so we just retaliated, and then so I'm paying a fine for retaliation. Like I don't get it.
As far as no, you aren't paying a fine. It would have been your friends. As I said, you were not allowed to stay past
For what?
the
For what reason?
for being the head of this group.
All right, guys. Time's getting very close. Let's stick to one final subject. I just want to do some input here. Laxist has nothing against O5. I will say, hold on, shut
Lexus,
up, shut up,
we
hold
didn't
on,
finish.
listen,
Fuck
let
you,
me
listen.
finish.
Oh my
Let me
God.
finish,
Listen,
and then
listen to
you
the
can
dispute.
go. So, I have nothing against O5. I just know that as a grown adult, you do need to take actions for what you have done in the past, and you need to just admit that council was fully wrong, just letting Achilles run rampant. Especially if you want a healthy kingdom, you need to say, yes, we were fully wrong. You don't need to say HWEEZY was right or wrong. That's subjective to everyone, subjective to him, and you. He has some points that are valid. You guys have some points that are valid. My main thing is O5 did a bunch of crap stuff with allowing Achilles to do whatever the fuck he wanted. In O2, there was never solid evidence. There's just a he said, she said in a voice chat, and we just randomly started attacking O7. I was lied to then, and then the 2814 situation, whoever was in council or leadership did a very, very poor job with our alliances and poor job communicating. You can't get mad as a grown adult in life. You can't just fucking get mad and kick someone out and do stuff. You need to try to work through it with our words. We need to, use your words. You're in leadership. You need to have the strongest communication possible. You need to look out for your kingdom. And by kind of creating an enemy and kicking someone out, that is your fault. You can't say it's not. You just have to accept that you fucked up. I think that the new O5 leadership, they definitely can turn a leaf. They just need to be very transparent with stuff going forward, transparent with kingdom banks and stuff if you want to rebuild and have your members trust you. Because, obviously a lot of trust has been burnt. It was burnt by me. Not saying by just you guys, but just how stuff was treated, how members were treated. But I don't wish you guys to fall apart. I wish, I want you guys to see turn leaf. But we'll get to one final subject that HWEEZY or Kongu want to bring up. We are running out of time. And yeah,
So in regards to that, why my question I want to ask is, why couldn't I stay in the kingdom, and why could my friend, and then why would my friends need to pay a fine when you guys are the one that initiated the act of war first?
So the reason we don't want you is because we believe you are the main figurehead of your team, as you call them. Sorry, I keep saying as you call them. Your team. And if we get rid of you, we felt like your other friendship group would be a better contributors to the kingdom, which is whether they would have or not. Doesn't matter. They've all migrated out.
So
The reason.
yeah, for the fine though, can you explain the fine though?
So whenever you attack someone wrongfully, you pay a fine.
But then they would deliver a message saying that anybody associated with HWEEZY and his friends were to be zeroed.
Okay.
And then they saw that a random farm get zeroed. So they took it as an act of war, and they just followed my lead and swerved you. So I don't understand why they would be issuing a fine if they saw that you guys declared war on us first.
Because it wasn't, as Daz messaged you, it wasn't us that declared war. It was Achilles. Achilles had as it was happening, Achilles and Chopper were in a voice call, and
Correct.
they discussed it.
So
Was it
then,
count?
but the thing
Wait.
is that happened after. So then, my friends were not aware of that, and they were aware of that after the fact. Correct? After
And
that we
that-
swarmed you, and so then why would they still be issued a fine? Like,
That's why we didn't kick them out, because we're aware that they wouldn't have known. That's why we weren't saying you have to leave. That's why we're saying, look, if you want to stay, then you just pay the resources for the troops that you have wounded on me, not even to me, to the bank, and then you're fine to stay. We're aware that they wouldn't have known what exactly was going on, which is why it was just, a 400 million resource fine, which isn't, considering what they did, was not that much.
so you telling me
It was already
for
very lenient.
so they're being punished because they got declared act of war and then they just retaliated, and though
They
it
got
wasn't
punished for
true,
swarming a council member. Yeah.
which they believe declared war on them.
Right? But
Okay. This whole conversation just points to the fact that my team was treated unfairly, rewards were split unfairly, and you guys did not do anything about it, and you guys just let it ride. So that's the reason why we are where we're at today, with members leaving the kingdom, all the fighters leaving, major contributors
Okay.
leaving, and that's
so
it.
now you're bringing up another massive thing. People leaving, of course they're going to leave. We're going to see BCs. I'm trying to keep this quick because I know Alexis wants to stop. Of course people are going to leave. they were promised they were going to come to an Imperial or an AC kingdom. Now we're saying BC. Of course they're going to leave. They don't want those small BC seed fighting. They want the Imperium seed fighting. So of course they're going to leave. That's what happens.
Is there anything, Wheezy, that could be done or said for you to just stop the drama? Is your beef more with Achilles or everyone?
I think my beef is more with Council and Achilles, just because seeing how this whole conversation went, they still did not see their fault in terms of how we were treated as members and especially high contributors to the kingdom. They still don't see that we were treated unfairly. Punishment was not, you know, equal to the type of bad things that we did. So they still don't see that. They're still like saying that we are kind of majority in the fault, so we need to leave or pay a fine, which I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. So the only thing I can see is that, hey, if leadership changes, they're more transparent with things, so be it great to them. Because I love O5. Like, I had a great time here. Members of O5 have been great. Our activity level has been great. I met some really nice friends out here. But under this type of leadership, that's the reason why people are leaving. You don't know how many people, when I got swarmed that morning or a couple days ago when I got swarmed, I got like 13 messages, 14 messages from people saying, "Hey, get online," and they are in FL, telling me, "Hey, get online, don't so that you guys cannot zero me."
So.
And then when I sent out that
Well,
migration letter,
to be fair, you did steal MGE after they tried to, or before they tried to swarm you. You did steal MGE in their defense.
correct? No, I did steal MGE, but the reason why I stole the MGE is because I deserve a slot. Like,
But
I
you
believe.
were told to migrate before the end, before MGE would have even ended. Why would we give you a slot if we told you to leave?
God, my game's lagging.
Anyways,
No, why would we give you a slot if we told you to leave?
because the thing is that from that message that you posted earlier, my interpretation was that me and my friends could stay if we pay a fine. So that's how I interpreted that message. Maybe I read it wrong. That's on me. But if that's the case, then that's the reason why I sent Viri a message. I sent the T5 group chat message saying that this is my application. I would like a slot for MGE for the first SOC commander. I
We
got a
can
response. I got a response back from Viri saying that I would relay the message to Belial. And this is what 2-3 weeks after your initial message saying that I had to leave by April 1st. So I thought everything was okay. And next thing you know, when the ranks came out, I was not on the list. I saw people who are ranked 168 on the DKP contributions on the list over me.
Which
Who?
discussed.
So that's the reason why I'm like, you know what? If you guys are gonna keep on fucking with me, then I'm gonna take a slot.
Okay, we can read through this message word for word from Daz, and we can see where your interpretation went wrong. You yourself, after KVK has officially ended, will have 10 days to migrate to whatever kingdom you want to go to. Assuming your friends want to go with you, but if not, they will be allowed to stay, but as a punishment will be a 400 million resource fine. What part was misinterpreted there?
I probably just read the message pretty fast and said, assuming that we'll be allowed to stay. So that's me.
Okay, then I will get you the time that we, Daz's second time reiterated the message. By the way, the 10-day timer for you to leave is 0005 on the first day of April or 31st of March for you. I think Council wanted me to reinforce it, so did you misread it the second time as well?
No, but then the thing is that I sent a message to Viri on the 24th, so I thought
And
that
we
was still being
reiterated it
discussed.
to you on the 25th.
Okay,
As
so
that is sent.
but no one got back to me about the MGE slots.
But we told you to leave on April 1st. I feel like that is a pretty concrete evidence of you're not getting the slot.
The thing is that the thing is that the whole point of me addressing is that you're telling me to leave whatever day that it doesn't be the purpose of me deserving a slot, even though I told you that I wanted one.
Okay, but as we've been over, first sets of MGEs aren't for who deserves, they aren't rewards, they're for what's best for the kingdom. We had told you to leave before the end of MGE. You wouldn't be able to get a slot because we told you to leave. twice.
But that doesn't make sense though. If you're telling me that the first sets of MGEs are for the kingdom, when we're only
Rank
we're only gonna
160.
get we'll only get three MGEs before next KVK, 3 or 4 MGEs for next
Yeah,
KVK,
exactly. So
and
it's very
and
very important.
so the people who contributed to the kingdom prior to KVK would not be able to receive a slot even if they choose to migrate out. Like that doesn't make sense. Like how so you recruit people to come to your kingdom to fight for them, and they were told that they will receive a slot based upon their contributions to the kingdom. So now because it changes to like SOC, you're not giving people who contribute to KVK3 a slot for their rewards for their contributions. That doesn't make sense.
Taurus, Reg. I don't remember who was on our list. I know Chuck, Dynasty, Taffy. They were all very high contributors. Had the gear for the commanders. So they got the.
And did Taffy and Dynasty leave? Yes.
Yeah,
And
which
Dynasty
we weren't aware was happening.
Dynasty told you guys at the end of KVK2 that he's gonna leave after KVK3. That was already discussed in council.
Was it?
Yes.
That's
So that just
interesting.
that just beats the whole purpose of you saying that. So it's just see this is the reason why Council 05 has such problems because you guys only spin the truth to whatever works for you guys. I'm laying out the
Okay.
facts here. You guys
But-
are aware that Dynasty was leaving after KVK3.
If
We
you
state
want to claim it as fact, you've got to back it up with evidence here. That's
well, I don't
fair.
have access to council chat anymore, but you can look it up, type in Dynasty in council chat, and then I'm pretty sure you'll find it that it stated that he will leave after KVK3.
Dynasty. Council chat, Dynasty, Council chat, blah blah blah, Dynasty getting the rewards, DKP. Told me someone's piloting, MGE rewards, Dynasty going FL, cap 20 mil, Dynasty probs, 22 million, cap, Dynasty prob went over the points. I messaged Dynasty for the time, telling him he needs to immediately gain no more points. Dynasty will pay the fine, Dynasty rewards, Dynasty getting points. Next MGE. Okay, I'm at the 12th or the 14th of December. And I'm still not seeing where he said that he was gonna migrate out. Trying to get through, Taffy was annoyed, was getting oh, this is when they were planning on zeroing you. Oh, here we go. You saying Dynasty maybe migrating, I'm not sure. He left the group chat 13 members where he hasn't responded to me, just FYI. That was on the 13th of December 2022, where Yusuf said he may be migrating. Is that what you're referring to?
No, there's a different council member. I don't remember who, but I remember that they stated it wasn't from me. Someone else stated that he was gonna be migrating after KVK2.
I can
After
send
KVK3.
you. I can send you the screenshots of literally every time the word Dynasty has come up in our council chat, which is 2 pages worth, and there is nothing.
Okay.
So basically, if I just kept my mouth shut and didn't tell you guys I was gonna migrate, or that I got a slot.
No, because we told you to migrate.
Either way, there's nothing else for me to say about this conversation. So
All right. So we came to a conclusion. HWEEZY, are you ever gonna forgive O5 council members?
yeah, I already forgiven. I don't care anymore. It's just I'm about to migrate out within the next week or so.
Okay. O5, I hope you guys learned a lot from some miscommunication problems and transparency issues that need to be solved. I think you guys are going to do great still. I just want to see, you guys treat your members and tell them, hey, a lot of shit has happened since Achille was the king from KVK 1 to 3 that was not transparent. And some people may have abused their powers. Kingdom Bank 100% was abused. But I think that wraps it up. We got to hear from both sides. We don't really need a follow-up video because, both sides did stuff. I feel like both sides were a little at fault. HWEEZY was a little at fault, acting it up a little bit. Acting like HWEEZY, pounding his chest.
Fuck you.
Council could have been a lot more transparent. There was some scamming that happened. That anytime a kingdom has scamming like that, needs to be called out right away. We need to overthrow whoever's doing that and get them out of the kingdom, because that is a horrible look for a kingdom. That'll stay in that kingdom look forever. And that member's obviously gone now. But yeah, Kongu, anything you want to wrap up and say about O5 in the future? What you guys plans? Future.
Our plans is just to try and have a bit of a relaxing after all of this stuff, with doing some nice low C KVKs, just relaxing for a little bit. That's the plan.
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna be transparent and maybe posting the Kingdom Bank? Not so secretive. Getting some trust back from members that are a little skeptical.
We are trying to figure out a better way to be doing the bank. That is something we're currently doing, but we have a lot on our plate right now. We're trying to solve a lot of issues all at once, and the Kingdom Bank is one of them.
Okay. HWEEZY, you got any final says? Maybe anything?
Laxus, your stream sucks. That's it.
All right, Zero HWEEZY, before he migrates, please, O5, I'll pay you some money.
You're broke. Chill.
All right, guys. Well, both sides might be heated. Maybe we see a little fight in the future, but I doubt it, because the kingdoms will be different rankings. Maybe C's and B's match up. I don't know how this damn game works still, but I hope that solves some issues. If you guys have any comments or anything else to get out, comment what you want on this. I appreciate Kongu for coming in here. It felt like I know Kongu felt like we were attacking him at some points, but I was just trying to get the bottom of some Kingdom Bank issues, not a Kongu issue. It was a whole Kingdom issue, and Kongu is the only one in here with the voice. Kongu does not have all the say. Keep that in mind. It's a whole council decision. So even though HWEEZY was going at Kongu, it could have been someone else in the council HWEEZY was trying to go at. But that wraps this up. I'm going to do team draw later. Appreciate you guys, both of you. Go have a good night. ROK's a game. All right, we are done. Peace.
Right. Thank you for having us.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks.
All right. Toodaloo.